All right,
Wait,
here we go. We
Jade,
got
I
it.
have a question.
What's your
Um,
question?
Yeah.
no, I was talking to Jade. I was talking to Mango Tango.
Who's Mango Tango?
You don't know my name. You don't know
Yeah,
nothing about me.
you know nothing,
You know
Jumpstone.
that he got dropped in
Um, I have a question. How is what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you're still doing track.
I just like how he had nothing to fucking say. So I'm gonna take over from here,
Uh,
bitches. So here's what I want to here's the fuck what I want to talk about. Um
Tell us.
so basically, right? I went to Panda
We
Express and I realized they have like this new spicy ass shrimp. And I thought it was I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like not gonna be like that hot as shit. Like it shit felt like eating like pure hot Cheetos. Like that shit burned the back of my throat. It almost felt like getting AIDS like in the back. Like literally like the
you don't
wrong
know.
dick just like hit the back, you know.
Well, I mean,
Why does your face look like that?
oh my god, guys, let's go to 7-Eleven.
Watch the manager kick you out.
I want to steal things from 7-Eleven. Oh my god, have you guys ever robbed a 7-Eleven?
Yeah, say that. Go inside a 7-Eleven and say that for me. Go inside and say it for me.
Never have I ever robbed a 7-Eleven.
Go inside the 7-Eleven and do it.
Ah!
I can't wait to watch Mr. Brahmi be walked out in fucking handcuffs.
What is this shit? Okay. Well, that's all well and good, Sky. I hope you're living your best life.
I'm living
And all.
I'm living as best as I think I can be. I don't know.
Oh my god, I found Mexico.
Oh, okay. So here's the tea, right? So recently I decided that I want to create a portfolio, right, that has like some kind of like nude modeling in a weird way. Cause I was watching this show, right, and they kind of was going into about nude painting, which was like it's an anime. It's called Blue Period. And by the way, so I found it interesting, right? Because what is that? Dice? That's dice. Okay.
D&D day.
But yeah, so basically, they were talking about how painting yourself in nude or having pictures of yourself in nude and showing it to the world in whatever way of self expression, right? Kind of entails both the ugly and the beautiful attributes of your body, right? Because there's obviously parts of your body that you think are very cute and some that are not as cute, right? And I realized that that's such a nice self expression of oneself, right? And it helps to come to like confidence and self confidence in your own body. And so I kind of made a small portfolio of that so far. So I have like 3 or like 4 different like pictures of that. Some of y'all already seen it, but Eli's the one he's like ew titties, so he don't want to see no pictures. But you know.
That's not true.
That is so true. You was like, oh my god, I am like, I'm not straight. Like, I'm gay. I don't want to see no titties.
It sound like it was like legit, like pinups, like porn of yourself. But if it's like, is that what it is?
Actually, believe it. Thinking about it, seeing your nails, I just realized something. There's no way you can be straight with those kind of nails because I don't see a woman letting you do that shit.
I don't know why it took that for you to believe me.
Because no straight man knows that there's no way you're allowed to do anything with nails like that. Unless Jaffe has something else to say.
I think that you need to rethink some things, Scott.
Yo, what is that? What is that under your nails?
Right? Although, I will say some guys are getting weird now. They care too much about grooming. And it's like...
I do grooming, like, just recently. Like, I washed my face. I did a little exfoliating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I'm working on, like, separating my edges from my real hair, like the baby hair. So I have that nice little line.
Slob solidarity, right?
And I've been, like, massaging my titties and stuff, you know? So
it's like before, like, straight dudes and, like, not all, but, like, some gay dudes were just... It was accepted that, like, you could be gross and you could still get a date and get laid with them. But now you have to haven't been more standard. It's like, come on. I mean, still a lot of them are just.
Ew, his thumb
very
is
gross,
dirty.
But...
Okay. I mean, okay, whatever. I mean, I guess that's a fair point, I guess. But I don't know what else I'm gonna say. Like,
it's like it's like you just let me be gross in peace. You know what I mean?
no, you got a fresh. What? No, you're getting me mentally butthurt.
Like I want.
You're hurting the non-existent balls that I have.
But also will be okay with the fact that I'm gross. That's just it.
There is nothing okay with this.
So like girls have in public is like oh much, you know.
Wait, what?
Jade knows what I'm talking. Jade is a fellow sister of the slum.
Not really. She keep herself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She keep herself a little.
How do you see in her room?
Oh my god! Don't expose her like that. Oh my god. Yo.
I cleaned my room, by the way.
All right, so
only because it was an inspection.
Eli, if she put her big ass feet in your ass when we head back to campus, don't cry. Look at that yellow ass nail. Get that shit out of my face, please.
Why is there like? Am I literally going to grow out my hair and grow out a beard? Am I literally going to become a lumberjack? I think so. I think that's why. I think that's the journey that I'm on right now.
But amazing, your hair looks like about almost the same length though. A little bit. It's a little longer though on the back part though.
I'm just gonna grow out my hair as long as possible.
Nasty. Ew. Ew, don't blow no damn kisses to me. Ew. Every time he blows a kiss, I just want to kind of put my finger inside that little...
Ew! Is that what you think about every time you see me?
Ew! No. I think about like bent over a table kind of action every time I see you.
Jade, are you hearing this?
I like it.
Pull him by his man bun and just like, you know.
I like it.
I made a cartoon the other day because I was watching these like old movies with like really gay stereotypes, and it was like when you have too many fag hags and not a single boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Do you guys know what a fag hag is?
Clearly, clearly, probably it's you because I don't know what that is.
It's when a very flamboyant gay man has a lot of female like best friends that are basically you guys.
So you're a fag hag, great.
No, you guys are.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you are.
Wait, so you're saying that a fag hag is a girl who's a best friend of a very flamboyant gay man? Kiss my ass and suck my toes and lick my clit. Fuck you.
You have to tell my dad that a bunch of my friends just learned what a fag hag is. It's like an old term. Like nobody even says that anymore. It's like an old. It's like from like the 60s and the 80s. Like it's like old. Like nobody says that anymore. It's like
I'm really butthurt.
Well, how do you think my butt feels?
Well, you're pretty gay, so I can imagine when I know what it feels like.
Well, I was just making like political.
No, you was not. No, you was not. No, you was not. No, you know what you meant. You know what you meant. You know what you meant.
Cartoons.
You're gay. You're too gay for your own liking.
I love how
you know what you meant. You know what you meant. Why are you still going?
No, but like I was making political cartoons, and I was making some about like my life and like identity and whatever. And I literally made one that was like, gay guy has too many fag hags and not a single boyfriend.
Oh my god.
And I drew you guys as part of the thing. I can show you the cartoon, it's pretty funny.
I will like that pace to people.
But I was thinking, I wonder if they even know, I wonder if my friends even know what that means. And apparently you didn't, so. You learned something new. What do you know?
I'm gonna make you my bitch.
I would love that, actually.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No. Don't get me started over here. I'm relaxed. Don't do that whole, don't do the whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole, you know what I'm saying, that little.
But it's like ironic, though, when I do it. It's ironic.
No, it's not. Oh, it's not.
Yeah, it's ironic.
So, by the way, any new shit in our dating lives or what? What's going on?
Oh yeah, that's what we gotta talk about. That should be a segment. I don't know. You go first, guy, because it's the whole whirlwind for me.
So,
You go first.
I mean, I could go first, but you saw what I said.
We talked about it at the birthday party that you have to talk about your ex. You have to get all out. This is the place to talk
Okay,
about it.
okay, all right. Let's talk about my ex. All right, let me just bring the chair a little closer. Okay. So first things first, right? We dated in about my second.
Jade, turn on your camera. This is so weird. Like, it's a podcast. People are gonna be watching it.
Yeah, but it's not recorded unless you're recording it.
I know, but it's more fun. Oh, look at your facial mango tango.
Ignore me.
Guys, I have brownies.
He's about to get high on this. Is he about to get high on this podcast?
Right.
What kind of brownies are those? Like, what we talking about?
Rainbow brownies.
Oh, so he's about to get high. He has the Zaza in it.
They're just brownies with rainbow frosting.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. Where DHC is the main ingredient.
You got me to get rid of it. This is inspection.
I can see you getting smack on like weed brownies. You look at this.
What is that? Anyway.
I'm not gonna lie. Ew.
Oh, yeah, you said this is like your horrible ex-boyfriend.
Ew, why your audio sound like that? Oh shit, they about to kick him out.
Oh, no.
They better. They're their own good.
Your horrible ex-boyfriend, you were saying.
Right. So I dated him in the first or second year in college. Like, so we had a little history, right? So I found him very cute, and we hanged out for a bit. Went on like a couple dates, made out. Never actually had sex, but we did like make out. I did feel his shit, but we never really had sex. So, and basically, he's not a real man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be straightforward. Like, I feel like real men, I think genuinely should be able to be honest about how you're feeling and be very proactive in a relationship. I think a lot of times men just want to, like, eat me out and they have no fucking idea about, like, what it takes to get there. I think, like, they tell you what you want to hear. Like, this motherfucker told me everything. Like, from the, like, literally, look at you eating. Like, oh my God. But yeah, that shit look good though. But yeah, so he told me everything from the jump. Like, oh, I want to build a relationship with you, blah blah. And he's very distant. He don't call. He don't text often. Even if I'm not clingy. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like you should, if you're in a relationship, you should be putting out as much energy, a little something. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be like, oh, we're in a relationship and just sit there and play with your dick all day. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's either you want to get to know me and create that connection, or you don't want to at all and you just want to eat my clit, and that's it. So basically, after a while of that shit, after a while I started getting very suspicious of him. Like, he started to like be very distant. At one point he told me some dumb shit, right? He says, oh, we can't, he says for a week, he claims that he's going to be working and he's in school, so he cannot text or call me. Now, if a man tells you that, what's the first thing that goes to your mind? Because I'm going to be honest with you. No matter how much school and work y'all motherfuckers have, I know y'all have free time. Because, listen, I have so much work in school and I still have a little free time to jerk it off. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I have free time.
So do all of us. Like, what does that even,
What the fuck does that even mean? When you're taking a shit, you have free time to text and call. Like, everybody has some little sliver of free time. So I started getting suspicious. So I called him.
Yeah, like even Dave here, like, when she, like, had, like, was like, oh, I'm, like, not mentally well, like, we like, told her, like, hey, like, because she was like, I'm going through something, that's why I, like, disappear and don't call. Like, he didn't even say that to me. Like, so you knew it wasn't nothing like that either, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because you told me that over the phone last night.
And it's bullshit.
You said last night you didn't communicate with nothing like that, And you said he basically just didn't say anything. Like he didn't communicate.
He doesn't communicate. Like I text him in the morning. I said, "Hey, hey, sweetie, hey, daddy." Like I'm being playful, but I'm like being proactive every morning. Like letting him know, like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm open." And he's not reciprocating that same energy.
This is why he was cheating, and I was like, "This is a lot of evidence." But the fact that he's being so distant, like even if there wasn't like a lot of evidence that he was cheating, the fact that he's being so distant is just like a red flag. Like when you're in a relationship, 'cause, like that's just not what you do. And then another thing that you told me, which I wanted to ask more about because I was super wrong and just immoral, is you told me like it was a big deal how like when you got back together, like he was really okay with you being a trans and stuff. I'm really offended. Like everyone, because a bunch of the people on Facebook are like all trans and stuff. They were really offended and like angry on your behalf. He said that he was gay or not gay. I'm so confused.
Basically, he was like before I like literally at like that crux of being like, okay, I think I'm gonna transition over, right? At this point, he's like, oh, well, all of a sudden, I don't know, like, if I like you anymore, or, like, I don't know if I'm feeling you because I'm gay. Now, again, listen, I understand that completely, but I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like, I'm going to say as it is, dick is dick. You know what I'm saying? And how you going to tell me, like, you like me then, all of a sudden, because I look a slightly bit different, all of a sudden, like, now you're just, like, your light just, like, went out the window. You know what I'm saying? I think he was just more insecure. Like, he's like, oh, I'm gay, and people have to see me as gay. So he felt like, oh, referring to me as a girl, it's probably going to be a little bit confusing and making him feel insecure. Like, oh, am I really all that gay if I'm, like, dating someone that's considered a girl? You know what I'm saying? So...
yeah, like, that's how I felt when I was dating you. But it was just like, but we were, like, clearly only dating because we were, like, sad. And it wasn't, like, it wasn't like him where it was just like a sexual thing, like that he was already doing. You know what I mean?
Also, how come your audio is like very like echoey, like very?
It's because I'm using AirPods and I'm in like a public.
No, it's okay. You should use the other one though. What's so crispy? The other one.
I lost it. No, but what I was gonna say was, I know a lot of like a lot of people, both gay and straight. It's like a thing I hear a lot. Have a lot of shame around dating trans women for this similar treatment. And like you basically said, you thought like he was different, like he wasn't like that at all. And I'm really sorry you turned out to be like that because you basically said that like you were convinced that he was he wasn't like that. And that's kind of a betrayal from what you said.
And I think it's just I just think it's ridiculous, honestly. I mean. And that
like, you think he really like was more involved, or like he wasn't gonna.
He wasn't involved, and he was just very sexual. Like all he can think about was when are we gonna fuck, and it just bugs me because men are just like, and no offense to you, it's just men are just dirty as fuck, honestly. Girl, please, please, you're not doing something, Jayla.
Or is Jade still here?
Can you please go for a second? I'm doing something. Girl, stop, girls.
Jayla, come, time for your bed. Come
No!
Come here.
No!
Okay, I want to spray you. Come. Just for your bed on time. So I have to spray you so you can sleep on the bed. This is
Eli, hold on.
Like 10 minutes, we're gonna get like cut off. I guess before it gets like.
Okay, so first of all, here's how that went, right? I didn't say that I was a lesbian. I kept saying that I am gay because I said like being trans, even though yes, technically I'd be considered a straight girl or straight trans girl, I'm just like, I don't like using the word straight because that's not me. I don't like to associate hetero shit with me because that's just not it. So I still use the word gay, obviously.
Oh.
To refer to my past, my original sex, as in what I was assigned, basically. It's to make a homage to it, obviously. I feel like I could obviously say I'm straight, but then it just feels weird saying that shit. I don't like saying that shit. Because because I feel
attracted to girls.
No, when's the last time you see me go? You know what I'm saying? When's the last time you see me do that?
I mean, when you were with Lucy for like half a year.
Lucy has an 8-inch sledgehammer. What the fuck?
She's still a girl.
Yes, but I never ate.
Sky, problematic views on gender. I think we can all. I think we can. I think we can. I think it is officially time to crown you the problematic queen.
I'm just saying.
That you don't hang out with those city college skanks anymore. They fucking. It is a miracle they didn't cancel you sooner. Jesus Christ.
Cancel me?
I love you, girl, but like, oh my god.
No, I'm just saying, like, listen, for all my ladies out there, like, listen, trans, not intersex, I don't give a fuck. I don't eat coochie. I don't do that shit.
Jade is just like.
I just don't like tacos. I don't like soft shell tacos, hard shell tacos. I just don't eat that shit. I'm sorry. The only thing
No, we should have a segment called Hot Take, where we say our most problematic opinion possible. Just all this one by one.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Hot Take, where we try to get ourselves canceled on purpose.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Where we say our most problematic opinion possible that we actually believe. Starting with Jade.
That he actually fucking believes. Starting with Eli, the cunt of this chat, of this shit. No, Jaffe, don't go first. Let this piece of shit cancel himself first.
Wait, me? I have to go first?
Yeah, you go first because you want to start this dumb shit. You go first.
Oh my god, that's so gross.
Are you sucking your fingers?
It's
No.
The way you suck your fingers, I can tell that you're fucking gay.
Oh.
He like that shit.
You know what? You can judge me all you want. Everybody knows you're just so jealous it kills you. Okay, hot take time.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, daddy, go ahead.
Hot take.
Entertain me.
Hot take time.
Make me wet. Go ahead.
Hot take time. If you. Okay, here's a hot take.
You see, fuck it. I'll go.
No, you go. I gotta think of one.
Okay, so I'll go. Okay, I'm gonna say one, but it don't mean shit though. I'm gonna say one, but it don't mean shit. Oh my god, hold on.
Welcome to our newest segment, Hot Take, where we say the most controversial opinion that we actually believe. First up is our lovely host, Skyler. What is your hot take?
Alright, so my hot take is I'm gonna throw the bone here. I'm gonna say non-binary people aren't trans, and I'm just gonna go with that shit. I'm gonna go with that. It hurts me saying that. I'm gonna go with it.
Why is that?
I'm gonna say because it's in the fucking name. Transgender, transition, okay? There's no such thing as fucking in between. It's either you're one way or another. I think non-binary people are their own fucking category, and they need to get the fuck out.
That is certainly a hot take. I don't think I agree, but that's for sure a hot take, and you're definitely gonna offend a lot of people with that one, while later start out strong. Yeah, I don't think I agree with, for reasons that would take too long to explain. It would derail the whole segment. But Jade,
I mean, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, but it works.
Jade, do you want to go next?
Okay, Jaffa Cakes, your
I
turn.
don't think you can top that. That was pretty spicy. I don't think you can top that.
That was pretty spicy. I know. I liked it.
And you're a part of the community, so you're just...
I was gonna say, like, wow.
Okay, if this is the fastest way to get canceled. You asked for it. You said what we want will get us canceled. Like this will do it.
That was a pretty fast.
By your own people too.
Pretty efficient. Yeah.
You're gone.
Dave's gonna have a tough act to follow now.
I mean, I already said my piece. That I support war 100%.
No, you can't say that shit. Support war. Like everyone who gives a fuck about war. No.
We support our television.
I don't think that's the same thing, but also it's like, how old is she? It's like this whole Israel and Palestine thing is silly to me. I think war was.
You better relax, bitch. That will really get us
It's
canceled.
so overrated.
Our channel gets shut the fuck down with that shit. Don't say that. Don't say
I
that.
mean,
You gotta speak up because my earring is so bad.
All right, so Jaffa Cakes wins with the war one. That one is gonna get our channel blocked for sure. I'm gonna have to put age restriction on this shit. Actually, you know what? Matter as a fact, like right before we end this, let's just put an entertainment disclaimer. I'll search something up on Google just so I don't get my ass sued because that shit was wild.
oh, like an E/I disclaimer, like entertainment and informational.
I mean, I wouldn't call it informational, but entertainment though for sure. Nothing the fuck we say makes sense.
No, I'm just saying facts over here.
This is a very hot take. I will sleep with a guy if you're attractive enough. I will excuse quite a bit, including but not limited to anti-Semitism and racism.
Well, that wouldn't be a hot take, but your type is bad.
Like, if your hotness is, like, to a certain level of hot, and you're also, like...
You're gonna get so canceled. This is the worst segment to quit.
That is a normal take.
If we're, like, in bed, you have, like, the most attractive abs in the entire world. You also have, like, a Nazi tattoo. I will, like, close my eyes.
Alright, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, you're sick as in that because I don't see me in bed with a guy and I'm like, he's anti-Semitic. Oh my god, this is fucked up. What are you saying?
I'm totally mad.
Like, this is not okay. Like, every word that's coming out of your mouth.
If he's, like, a little ugly, I'm like, no, you're, like, I never forget. But if he's, like, really hot, you know what I mean? Like really, really hot, I'm like...
No! There's no such thing as... Okay, like... No! What the... No! There is no size that can make up for racism. I don't think so. You see, he's nasty. He's nasty.
I don't know if you've ever tried to log about.
No. You tell me what size he has to be packing in order for racism to be okay.
I think I might have won.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, he wins this one. I thought Jaffe was gonna, like, hit it with the Israel and Palestine kind of hot take, but that one is actually gonna get us canceled. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna make sure to put a disclaimer at the end of this shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, you should put in the description, only for the dirtiest of minds.
So, quick question. So I wanted to throw some bones. So, any controversial trans issues that y'all want to, like, address? It could be anything.
What you were really talking about earlier.
It could be related to what you was talking about earlier. I think that we can talk about that. So, this is actually, I think this month is actually Trans Remembrance Month, or Vigil, or whatever the shit is. And apparently... I don't know. I know it's like Trans Remembrance Month or some shit where, like, basically they have a vigil of, like, all the trans girls that have died, or trans men, obviously, that have been wrongfully killed, which there's no right way to be killed, but you know what I'm saying.
Here's a hot take. This is, like, I don't know if this, Jade, you have experienced this because you're not actually trans. Like, I don't know, like, here's a question. Okay. I don't know if this is just me, and this is, like, really about, like, what Sky was saying. It's just, like, I just want to ask this. Am I the only one, like, did y'all also have, like, nightmares, especially, like, this time of year, about being, like,
being what?
Hate crime?
Two-timed?
Hate crime. You know what I mean?
Oh, nah. I mean, okay.
Like nightmares, like, vision. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they have so much propaganda around this time of year about, like, all the people who were killed. And it's, like, so many people.
Okay, so I have not had any dreams about personally, like, in terms of hate crime towards trans people. However, I do I do believe that it does happen. It's not a realistic fear for me just because it's not something that's consistent 24/7, 365 days a year, and it's very a lot of these situations are very subjective because like a lot of times when people end up in situations like this, they end up doing shit or where like or the causes behind it are definitely unique, and it's not the same for everyone. I think that fear is like completely unrealistic in my opinion, but
Yeah.
it's not to say it doesn't happen. It's just very unique. Like I've had this one case. I think there was like this trans girl. Again, don't quote me. I'm not going to call names because I don't know. But I heard that she was killed by a police officer, and they were making this whole big thing. Turns out they thought that she was like selling drugs, which again she probably was, and that was the reason why she got killed, not because she's trans. So at the same time, I think that there's also that that's like those little details that don't be added in a lot of these stories when you consider that kind of crime at all. Like that's a lot of information that's very misleading.
It's really only this time of year because they have so much, like, especially with social media, they have so much, like, here's the thing, this is, like, maybe just me, but I feel like because our generation is so hyper online, and because, like, this is just the way that the world is, sometimes things can go from, like, raising awareness to, like, just fear-mongering and, like, perpetuating, like, a hyper fear and, like, a hyper vigilant,
and I think that's extremely important because I think that there's like
something is like actually a threat like all the time,
and it's
sometimes
not.
just like sometimes like especially for like the people that are like supposed to be like the most vulnerable, like the victims of the threat, it can just be like unnecessarily like a boogeyman and like psychologically like spooky more than it needs to
that
be.
It needs to be. I think
the way that like the media talks, like serial killers, you know what I mean? Like serial killers exist, but the way the media like exaggerates them is like insane. I feel like that's kind of the way it is with some of these hate crimes. Like it's just like over the top, you know what I mean?
And I believe so, because I mean, like, here's my take, right? Like, if we have, like, say we have to travel somewhere,
because it's just getting awareness, but at the same time, like, it's just making people, like, too afraid.
Yeah.
In a way that's not productive. It's not productive.
It's not productive, and it's only it's not doing anything for anyone. I think that honestly, when it comes to that, like say we're going to visit a country, right? And this is for a general person, not just queer people in general. If you're visiting a foreign country, of course there's going to be those risks that things can happen to you, things whatever. But you take certain measures in place to ensure that you're safe, right? Like you go with groups, or maybe you always have your phone with you, charged. You don't go too far from your hotel, little things like that. So I think that even when it comes to media, when they talk about, even in Trans like Remembrance Month, which especially is this month alone, where they talk a lot about like what has happened to them, I think a lot of times a lot of media takes it from going into a world of bringing awareness, and then it becomes from awareness to more actually fear mongering, which is not productive, where we take this whole idea that you see what happened to her, this is going to happen to every single one of you guys, like you guys are going to die, like this is like in 90% of the time, even 99% of the time, most trans people this doesn't happen to, and this is very unique situations, and that sense of fear mongering is not productive at all. And then if anything, it just makes people who are trans even more stressed than they need to be, and that's what I think that it is.
That's kind of my problem. Like I don't think it's like anyone's intention. It's kind of like a byproduct of like the visibility, which is a good thing for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's just like trans people already like so stressed for a lot of reasons, but it's like constantly seeing just like people like you being like murdered all the time, everywhere, all the time. It's just like an entire month that is dedicated to essentially like mourning and talking constantly about the genuinely like large, like that is not exaggerating, like very large, like constant, like, and it is like actually ignored, especially like the black trans things, especially in like certain parts of the country and the world. Of people that is like always, you know, growing in that is real, but it's just like the way the media talks about it is kind of my issue, because it's just kind of like relentless, and it doesn't really need to be so sensationalized and in people's faces because it doesn't really consider how like just average, like average trans people who.
Huh. So looks like his internet dropped. So I guess we're not listening to that motherfucker no more. All right. So basically, my turn. He's too poor for this. So, Jaffa Cakes, you there, right? You there, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he too poor, so I'm gonna take over the rest of this shit, cause So, AKA yes, I think that the fear mongering that's being done by like multimedia in general is not helpful at all, and I think in general when we consider the trans community, I think that what it's doing is it's not productive, and in fact, it's not true 99% of the time. And I think that because of this like consistent fear mongering, giving this like impression that you're gonna die, like this, like trans people are always getting killed, trans people are always being this. I think because of that sense it creates this sense of an irrational fear that you're trans, you're a target. And I think that that's kind of that idea that's always being just trying to be peddled, and I think that that's a big problem considering Trans like Remembrance Month, because not only is it's a time to remember some of our brothers and sisters, it's also a time to keep in mind that this is where you'll see some key times where like media will try to like really instill fear, particularly anti-trans like platforms will try to instill that sense of fear by trying to tell you like, you see all these cases here, like this is like crazy, like you're gonna be a target next, you could be next, and a lot of times, like I said, this like one example, this trans girl was like literally shot down because I believe she was like selling drugs. Again, I don't know the case behind this, that's just like me just literally reiterating what I've heard. And again, she wasn't killed because she was trans. No, she probably had a weapon or she was selling drugs or whatever. It has nothing to do with that she presents as a girl. She looks like a girl, but there's a penis. The police don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that a lot of times media takes some of the most minute issues. And I think that has been an issue that I've noticed for a while. Because, and of course, right? Is Eli coming back though, by the way, or no?
Probably.
I mean,
he ain't texting on Instagram, but he's coming back.
Okay. So, and even though, yes, I do believe, like, here's the argument can be like, well, that's not true. I don't think media is trying to peddle this, like, sense of trans people, they're a target, right? And that's completely fine. But then when we think about it, I've actually looked into it, and you can kind of really do see it as, like, on a lot of people, right? You can see that where even me, right, being part of the community, even when I go outside, even when it's with you guys or even with Eli or anybody who's in the community in some shape or form, I'm always concerned about how we're getting home. When are we leaving? Like, we're too late outside. Like, we need to get on a train. Like, I'm always panicked. And even though I know this is an irrational fear, this is an irrational fear being peddled, like, oh, we're constantly a target. And because of that, it makes me act erratically, where I think like, oh, we need to get home, we need to this. When in reality, there is no threat. And we could be outside even longer than normal. But because of that, it really impacts how I behave, even around people that are like me, honestly. And I think that that's just a big concern, I think, when it comes to the community, I think. And I think that for this month, I think that this month is very key in trying to keep in mind that it's not, you don't have to be fearful that trans people are a target, but rather this should be a month where people should talk about what are some things that you can do to keep yourself safe as well. I'm not the best person for that, obviously, but I'm definitely not the worst, because I've had experiences and I've had things happen, and obviously if I had all the answers, I guess that would have not happened. But I'll say, like, you can always go out in groups, you know? This isn't Pride Month, so dress accordingly, you know what I'm saying? I mean that, like, in the most honest way possible. This isn't fucking Pride Month, so don't dress out with your titties out, don't walk around naked, you know, the basic stuff. Keep your phone on, try to travel throughout the day, don't socialize with groups that tend to lead to being anti-trans, whatever that looks like, you know what I mean? And, you know, if you can always go outside with your friends. You know what I mean? And if you have to go outside by yourself, just keep in mind, keep to yourself. You don't need to respond to every comment you hear, you know. Stay in well-populated areas. There's so many ideas that you can do to stay safe, even when you go outside, even for me. So I feel like, I think that we need to stop thinking about trans people are a target and peddling this fear. And instead, we need to be thinking about these things have happened. What are some productive and efficient ways that we can deal with these issues that are productive and efficient? And I think that similar things, like when you go to a foreign country to protect yourself, those are some of those things. Like even me, I keep like, well, you bitch, you stole my shit, but you still have my taser, by the way.
I remember it. I have a taser and a knife now, so I'm just building my collection.
So yeah, but I used to have like a taser, mace, and a Swiss Army knife. I think having a little personal protection is also important for trans people in general. I think just because if something does happen, you want to be prepared in that situation too. And it's not just to hurt anybody. It could literally be for if you're kidnapped, you can cut wires, you can cut ropes. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just only for one specific idea. And that's just my take when it comes to that. I think that it just sucks. It's true. It sucks that that's like the irrational fear, when in reality, it's not. You just have to learn how to handle yourself. And when you do, and you learn how to adjust properly, the world is just that much more easier for you. I just think that that's just a problem. I think it's just missing information and misguidance too, because a lot of these stories that are posted on the internet, Eli has gone into some of them, I think, and a lot of them are very it's not that they're trans, they got hurt or they got into accidents, literally because they're doing something dumb shit a lot of times. And I don't want to make me sound like an asshole, but it's true. A lot of times they're either doing drugs or either they're acting like an ass or whatever the issue is. But clearly, most of the time it's because they were in something that was fishy in the beginning and it ended off pretty bad for them. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with that they look like they're a girl, but they have a penis, or they're a girl, but they look intersex. It had nothing to do with that. The police don't give a shit what your gender is. Bullets don't care what you have between your legs. All it cares about is what it can pierce. You understand what I'm saying? So, so that's just my personal take on that. I don't know if you want to go into details with that.
I agree with you kind of, but I also don't, because, well, I don't like that you have to live in fear, because it's like the news kind of makes everyone a victim. It doesn't matter like who you are. You could be trans, you could be a woman, you could be black, you could be a black man, you could be anything. It's like everyone is a victim of someone's abuse or something happening in the world. So it's like changing the way you live to fit around something that might happen to you or might not happen to you is really fucked up. Because then it's like you can't exist. Like the things you were saying, like don't talk to people if you don't have to. Like that's fucked up. It's like I can't say hi to people because I'm scared they're gonna try to hurt me.
It's not even. I mean, I don't know if it's really that. It's more of like, okay, like you. I know it sounds bad because profiling is wrong, but you can profile a crowd and see like, is this a place that I should be talking about this? Like, if I go inside a Christian church and I try talking about trans stuff, is this like the place to do that? I can't profile all Christians, like all Christians anti-trans. No. However, that is not the environment for it, and me talking about that is going to get me some backlash. I can get negative things. So obviously, in an environment like that, I should be smart and say, okay, look, let me not talk about it here. If it comes up and it's a positive thing, go ahead, whatever. But if it's not a topic, don't make it a topic. Like it's situational. It's hard. It's bad to say profiling, but profiling keeps a lot of people safe. It sounds bad, assuming someone's this, assuming someone's that, but it's what protects your ass. Because that's how the human brain determines when there's a threat or a predator. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just you being an asshole. It's not just you being an asshole. It's you doing what you got to do for yourself.
You're very right, because it's like you can tell a lot about someone by the way that they are, by the way they present themselves. And you can assume a lot of correct things, even though it might not be right. It's like, you're probably right. If you see a group of, like, black guys, I don't know, in the night, next to a car, they're probably you probably shouldn't be around.
You shouldn't be around. It's not to say that they're bad people or to say like they're actually doing something wrong, but it's just these little precautions could save your life. And I think that these are more important to do, and it's more efficient than sitting there and just being scared and just sit in a crowd or just like change yourself or edit who you are. It sucks. You can be yourself, but you just need to learn how to do it properly. And I think that that's more efficient than hiding who you are. You, like Muslim people, for instance, and it's not me being racist or anything. I'm just gonna go with it. Like, how some people from those cultures wear a hijab, right? Would you say that because that there's a lot of targeting towards people of that ethnicity or that religion or whatever, that these women shouldn't wear hijab or they shouldn't wear their traditional religious clothing? No, that they will still wear it, but they just need to be mindful of where they are, where they're going to, and who they're talking to. And profiling is part of that aspect. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's where my mind is coming at. So, but it's a very controversial topic. Don't get me wrong, and I have been dealing and thinking about that issue for a while. But I will say that it's not bad to go into, and quite honestly, it fits the month category. Even though I know Eli came up with this idea, which is pretty cool actually. But I think it's great for the month. I mean, it's Trans Remembrance Month. I mean, it's like, this is a month where like you get a taste of both, where you get fear mongering and you also get that sense of where you really acknowledge those who passed away. There's a girl I know of. I forgot her name. Oh God, I wish I knew her name right off the top of my head. But she's from England, and she was a really beloved trans girl. I really wish I can get her name right now. And she was supposedly killed by two kids who were 15 years old. So both had a knife, and apparently they assaulted her, and they were arrested later on. Like, the assumption was them. I don't know if the kids were ever detained. I don't know if there was ever evidence. But yeah. Damn, bitch, what happened to the camera?
Oh, what's wrong with my camera?
I mean, it's off, but it's okay if you go on it off. I'm just saying, like, it's like, can you still hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I mean, I don't really care. I don't really care about the camera part. I know Eli cares about that, but I'm just like, as long as you can hear me, I don't really care. I talk to myself all the time. I'm not crazy. Don't worry.
I do too.
But yeah, so, and I think it's a great topic to go into. I think that it sheds a lot. It sheds light, and it does encapsulate the theme. But yeah, so like I was saying, this is trans girl, right? And I feel bad for her because she actually died because of that. And they made this assumption that they think two kids who are 15 years old stabbed and cut her up. And there's actually a video online where apparently she was walking in the park minutes before her death, and you can see in the video that there's somebody standing in the background in the trees watching her the entire time, which is actually kind of scary, and that was going around the internet. So, and she didn't do anything to anybody. She lived her life the best way she can. She was very helpful. She supported a lot of trans people. She created donations in her name. She did so much for so much people. And it's sad to see that happened to her, honestly. And my prayers go out to her, obviously. I just wish I had her name so I can put it for this podcast, because I feel like, that's one for me that I would love to talk about. I know there's hundreds of, like, my ladies out there that deserve to get recalled, but, so, and also, can I ask the second question? This was on Eli's itinerary, so I'm just gonna, like, mark these off. I'm just gonna try to, like, go by quickly so we can just get the fuck on, since clearly Eli's gone, right? The second question was, I don't know where the fuck he went. So I'm going to try to, like, get this shit done, get the audio, and then if you can get him back and you want to text him, go ahead. But I'm too tired right now. So, yeah. The next question was, should trans people be in their respected assumed gender sport? So this comes in from Backlash. So there's a girl called Leah Thompson, and then there's also the Backlash from Miss Miss America or Miss Pageantry or whatever the fuck it was. Miss Italy, I think. It was going to call Miss Italy or something. And apparently, they were upset that a trans girl took that title. I think a pageant doesn't give a fuck about gender. I think it's fashion related, actually. And people bitching about like a trans girl won and took that title is actually just do the fucking hard work. You know, she worked hard in fashion herself to do this. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like a pageant is based on fashion. It's not based on your gender. It's not based on your skin color. It's not.
Fashion isn't a sport. So
that's what a pageant is. Pageants just tend to be a woman-dominated sport. But either way, she worked her ass off. You can't be mad at that. Now, the problem is that there's an opposing argument where there's this trans girl named Leah Thompson who I think broke a lot of female titles. I can't remember if it was swimming or running. I think it's swimming. And obviously she's on hormones, but she still has a lot of muscle mass and blah blah. Like biologically now, my body, I can't really flex my arms. My arms are big, but I can't flex them as I did before. So muscle is a little bit gone. Definitely can't lift as much. I can't really, you know what I'm saying? So, when you're on hormones for a long time, your body starts to physically get similar to that of a woman in terms of muscle mass and other attributes and BMI and such. However, her body wasn't up to par. And so obviously she stole some titles and blah, blah, blah. So in a case like that, I think that's massively unfair. I think that a trans girl, yes, I support trans women, I support it all. However, I think that if her physical body is giving her a theoretical advantage, that's unfair and that's wrong. So, okay, so I'm going to go with that. This thing is about to end because, again, I don't want to make another video. You don't think we should make another one, right? We think we should just, like, end this really quickly, right?
No. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so I'm gonna make this last like maybe a couple questions and make this quick. I don't know. Blah blah blah. Do you think? What do you think about bottom surgery? Is that a good thing? Yes, yay, nay. What do you think? Let me just check. Think of this bottom surgery.
You answer that. Like I would say, yeah, for the people who want it. Yeah.
Of course. All right.
But I think doctors need the opportunity to practice on more like. I don't know, female to males. So I think bottom surgery is really good in that department because it gives them more opportunity to like make it look better, I guess.
HRT, yay or nay? What age should a child be allowed to start taking estrogen? Should they start taking it as a child or should they start taking it as an adult? Bear in mind there's a difference between estrogen and hormone blockers. So hormone blockers or puberty blockers are much different. Puberty blockers prevent. Why is he video calling me?
Right. Me too. I mean, weird.
So yeah, so there's a big difference between the two. So puberty blockers, they stop puberty from happening by by stopping the production of the hormones.
As long as the child is mature enough to understand what they're doing.
Okay.
You know, it's a case by case type of thing.
All right, and what is some? I guess before we go, what is some last like little things you want to say about Trans Remembrance Month? Anything you feel that we should talk about? Anything you feel that we should? Any questions? Like we had like this last thing where we talked about fear mongering and this instillment of an irrational fear. Any of those you want to go into? Maybe murders that were unjust. Any of those you wanted to go into?
Weird topic to have a month about. Like it's just about like trans people who got murdered, right?
I mean, it's the remembrance of, and it's a celebration of being trans in general too. But yeah, it's the remembrance of that, really.
But those two things together have, like, you can't put those two things together because it has like a negative association with it. It's just like a weird month topic.
It is a weird month thing. I mean, it's a remembrance month. It's not really an awareness, like trans awareness kind of thing. Trans awareness is a different thing. I think it's Trans Awareness Week, and I think that's in July. I'm not too sure, but I know that this month is specifically like a remembrance of all our trans girls and boys that didn't really make it all about.
Like idea behind it to have a whole month about it is like weird because it's like that's all people will associate with that. Very like you'll associate trans people with like being victims of crimes and like
Of course.
so it's like that's not really who made that? Who thought that was a good idea? I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, transphobic individuals. I think that, I mean, it's much easier to kind of suppress and prevent trans people if scaring them works, you know? Like, if you were to make me fearful that I'd be a target the minute I came out, it's more effective to prevent me from wanting to come out than really encouraging it. So, I don't know. That's what I think. I don't fucking know. I don't know who thought it was a great idea to do that. Or it could just be something that just haphazardly happens, you know?
It has that like idea of being supportive of trans, but it's not actually because it's just making you scared of coming out or whatever you want to do.
I think during this month they should talk about things you can do better for yourself, like what are things that you can do to protect yourself, things to handle yourself, like little advice and tips. I think are that much more effective and more productive and effective than sitting there and just saying you're going to be a target 24/7. And just instilling that sense of fear, which is only just making this sense that when you're trans, you're a target. And I think that that's not true. I think it's just a matter of how you adjust and how you take care of yourself. And that makes a huge difference. Because I'm a trans girl of color. Obviously, I'm a big ass target. Just don't get me wrong. Trans girls are a target, but trans girls of color is a whole nother spectrum. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And look at me. I'm barely scared every day. So if I can do it, you can do it too. And that's just me. So
that's really sad. But that's everyone. We should have a whole month dedicated to open-mindedness. How about that? As opposed
that should be a thing. There's probably like a mental awareness month, but I don't think there's like open-mindedness month. I think there should be a month that's like that, where we kind of, you know, we instead of just being like one tracked, we explore the different opinions, the different takes. There's a channel actually on YouTube called Jubilee, I think. And they, where they have like different things where they'll have like trans men and they'll have cis men. And they will have them like hash it out. Like, what's the definition of masculinity? And have them both hash that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it helps to shed light on different viewpoints. And it helps you to be unbiased as well, which I think is extremely important. And I think that awareness could really, really help us in that time of need, honestly. And that's just me. I mean, there's not much I could say about this month. I mean, don't get me wrong. My prayers go out to everyone, but, you know, I think that this month should not only be about those deaths and, you know, being sad and crying, but we should be happy that, you know, that we should say, okay, they were there for us. Like these are people that really fought hard to be who they are, you know, and they should lead, and they're an example for us, you know. And we should talk about, and there should be a month where they talk about how to avoid these issues and stuff like that, you know, where they should get advice and tips.
About being a better person. That's it. Because if people were better people, this wouldn't happen. And also, I feel like most crimes are committed by people with mental health issues. Like, we kind of forget about that and we think that, oh, they're normal people. But it's like, people who do stuff like that automatically have mental health.
Have a problem. I think, because that's where this fear is also irrational, in the sense that I think that on a day-to-day basis, most of these so-called murders and stuff aren't really done by people that are insane, in a sane head like us and me and you. Right? A lot of times they had a lot of mental issues or some kind of affliction that really made them feel like they needed to lash out in such a brute mannerism. So a lot of times there's like some underlying issues that kind of catapult or, you know, propose this idea, like really just cause it to come out. Because in most cases, I think that even for general people that are just anti-trans in general, but you know, that's just who they are. They don't really believe in it that much. They don't act in an irrational mannerism and go killing and go stabbing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these things that tend to happen are from people that clearly do have some sort of issue in you know, internally, whether that it be mentally or trauma or whatever that looks like, whatever that issue looks like. Definitely they're struggling with something. And I would definitely say that. I don't know. I just think that just is my take on that. Because I agree. I could be. I mean, again, that's bias. Obviously, there's possibly some people that are probably just seeing ahead and they just, shit happens. But there's a lot of things can happen. Peer pressure, like you could be with your friends and they say, hey, we should go fuck this person. You know what I'm saying? And you just get pressure into doing it and stuff. So, there's a lot of cases where this might not be the case. But in a very individualistic aspect, I can definitely see this being something that's prevalent in people with mental issues for sure.
I feel like the government is too freeing. They allow people to do too much in fear of them like oppressing people. But then it's just like the things that people do are just like hateful. And then they encourage it, and then they use those hateful people to get votes so that they can get elected. And then they're scared of those hateful people because they do shit like insurrection. And then they can't control their own base. And it's like, you knew it. You were evil people create evil people. That's it.
And that's just as it is.
And it's like, right.
And I think that sense of liberation, I guess, might play a key role. I can definitely see that. I mean, I'm still a little wonky with it, but I can definitely see where that tug of war can definitely come in. You know what I'm saying? So so honest to God, I got no more questions, obviously.
All right.
So it's still recording, obviously. So it's up to you. We have an hour of audio. We do have this one point where I guess there was like this huge outburst and there was a lot of noise in the background. Okay. I'll just text her that.